Okay, let's do it. Nursing in public. If you hear some white noise, I have Oliver on the lollipop cam right now. So that's gonna be right there because he's napping. Nursing in public. This is a really hard thing to figure out at first, and I'm gonna start from the hospital because I feel like that's the first time that you have to nurse where you're not in the comfort of your own home, because anything besides that to me is nursing in public. So in the hospital room, my advice, when you need a nurse, just ask people to leave if that's what you need to do. I feel like if you already kind of have your own flow, if you've had a kid before, you could probably figure out how to cover. But when it's your first kid and you're trying to learn to latch and your baby's trying to learn to latch and all that stuff, you need clear view, you need totally bare, hands involved. So if you need to ask people to leave the hospital room, I think you should feel free to do that. If you feel uncomfortable speaking up and asking for that, then I would say in my position, I would tell Shane hey Shane, the baby needs to eat at 3 o'clock. So if your grandparents are coming to visit the baby or whatever, at that time, can you just say, hey, let's step outside so that Kristen can feed the baby really quick? And then it just kind of makes it easier on you if you just don't feel comfortable expressing that, which you should, I don't know, I think everyone has their own dynamic with their family. So if that works better for you, you can do that. And if you want to say it yourself, then totally feel free to do that. I feel like it's just so important to get what makes you comfortable in your postpartum healing. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about our first outing, and that was we went to these shops that are near our house, and we were walking around, and then he needed to eat. And I tried to do it with the cover, which I have the Ryla pack right here, and I always have this Milk Snob cover with me. I only have one, and I don't know why. I think it's necessary to have 2 of these. Now we use it as a high chair cover. But this is a Milk Snob cover, so it has a smaller opening at the top and a bigger opening at the bottom. I think I ordered mine on Amazon. And what you do, I'm gonna back up a little bit. What you do is you put it, this is how I like to do it. So if I'm gonna feed Oliver on this side, I'm gonna put this arm out in free, and I have it like this, and I bring it all the way down. I just punched one of his toys. I bring it all the way down, and then I would just pop him under, hold my elbow up so that there's room for him, pull my shirt up, tuck it in and under my bra, and then I would have him here. But when it's the newborn days, it's really hard to figure out the latch at the beginning. So you're going like this and trying to see and hold them all at the same time, and it's just kind of hard. I like doing it with one hand out because I use this hand to adjust if I need to pull it down at all. Because if it's kind of like this, it's just a little bit harder. I just like having one hand out. But as time went on, I was able to use this in public. So that first outing, I tried to use that. I couldn't get it. So I went to my car, and that was way more comfortable for me at first. It was easier for me. I could just be all out and not worried about, is this showing, is that showing, am I covering Oliver too much? I don't know. I just love nursing in my car. When we were at church, sometimes I would use the cover, and sometimes I would just go to the bathroom. And I feel like I have to do a big disclaimer. If you're comfortable pulling up your shirt and feeding your baby, I don't think there's any shame in that. I think you just have to do what's comfortable for you. So for me, that's not comfortable. I've never been able to just pull it down and have him cover, and that just wasn't what I chose to do. But there's no shame in doing that if that's what you choose to do. Another thing is a lot of places now have nursing rooms. So at Disneyland, they have a whole room with rocking chairs that's all for nursing moms or pumping moms. So if you're somewhere, ask if they have mom rooms, because at the Nordstrom that I go to, they have a whole mom room that has private nursing areas and changing areas and everything. So if you're somewhere big, maybe ask and say, hey, are there any rooms or places for moms to nurse privately? And sometimes there are. Actually, a lot of the times I found that there are. Our church is making one right now, and I mean, it's so important. It's just dads having changing stations in their bathrooms, in the male bathrooms. It's just important. We have to take care of our kids. I think the biggest thing is that you need to do what you're comfortable with and what makes it the the least amount stressful. It makes it the least stressful, because that's just what's most important. I don't think you should feel shame in breastfeeding in public, absolutely not. But if you're not comfortable and it stresses you out, then I would do what makes you comfortable. So sometimes I would nurse in the restroom, and like, that's just what was comfortable for me. I don't know. So I wanted to talk a little bit about nursing bras, because in the beginning, my letdowns would be really, really heavy. And like, if you're not exactly sure what a letdown is, when you're feeding, your baby will like suck really fast, and it stimulates a letdown, which it feels like a contraction in your breasts, and it starts like pouring milk out of both sides. So when you're first breastfeeding, you have these little pads that you put in your bra, and when your baby's feeding on this side and this one's having a letdown, the pad is catching it so that it's not like drenching your bra. If you see people with like the wet marks, like sometimes maybe they didn't have like a little pad on. So I used a nursing bra in the beginning, and I would, on the side that I was feeding him, I would unlatch right here, pull it down, and then I'd fold the nursing pad over so that anything that he was missing that was coming out would be getting caught by the nursing pad. And that was like really good. That was important because his latch wasn't perfect yet, and there was kind of a lot of milk, and it was nice to have that to catch it. Now that his latch, like, he doesn't let any milk dribble out, I love wearing it's kind of like a sports bra type bra. I'll link it because I really, really like these. I really like these, and they're really comfortable around your ribs and stuff, and it's just kind of like flat and comfy, no wires, no, it's just literally like a sports bra, but like softer. And I love using these now, and I don't have to wear pads anymore. And why I like wearing these is because when you pull your shirt up, you can tuck it like in and under, and it holds your shirt up so that you don't have to hold it while your baby's eating. Yeah, so like, I feel like the biggest thing is find what makes you comfortable. Practice with this at home if you want to before you go out. And at the end of the day, like, feed your baby. If you have a little nip slip, like, people will get over it. Feed your baby, do what makes you comfortable, practice, and I feel like just like take a deep breath and like just find your rhythm, and you will thrive. So that's all I wanted to talk about, was feeding in public, my little guide to it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.